Welcome back, Advice Podcast. My name's Kyle. This is Raysean. This is Breck. And we have some relationship advice for you / relationship advice. How can I, 26-year-old female, tell my fiance, 26-year-old male, that spicy romance books are ruining my attraction to him? I've been with my fiance since high school. He is the only person I've ever had sex with. In the last 2 years, I've gotten into reading spicy romance, smut. This has completely changed the way that I view my sexual relationship with him. Prior to me finding this genre, our sex life was already lacking. It's not uncommon for us to go months without intimacy. I don't feel excitement with him the way I do when I read these books. It has started to make me question our entire relationship. I'm thinking I need to call off the wedding in order to try to find someone that will live up to my expectations. How do I explain this to my fiance? TLDR, my fiance, 26-year-old male, doesn't have sex with me, 26-year-old female, the way smut characters. I love the way that sentence said, the way smut characters.
First, I'm just going to say I feel like conversation needs to be had. That's the number one thing. You need to basically figure out what you want and what you need and basically be able to figure out how to communicate that to that person. One thing I will say was something that was a big red flag is y'all got married and I was like the only person you ever been with. I think
well, they're getting married. They haven't gotten married yet. They're going to get married.
Well, I think before you get married, you should kind of test the waters a little bit and see what kind of person you are and see what type of sexual relationships you want. Because, I mean, you've only had sex with one person and now you're reading these books and seeing some other stuff and you're like, hold up, I want to try this. But I also think it is good to have the communication with your partner to be able to tell them, like, this is what you want to do. The fact that we only having sex once every 3 to 4 to 5 months, that's just not working for me. I'm surprised you can do that, but we're going to have to figure something else. Maybe I can have a partner where I can get some stuff off on the weekends and we can still be together during the week, but something needs to work out for us. But that's basically what I'm saying. I think strong communication. I do think the wedding should be in limbo right now because this is a big thing. This is you can't just let this go like, oh, you know what, it'll get better after the marriage. This is the honeymoon period, low key, like where y'all just boyfriend and girlfriend. If y'all not fucking a lot right now, y'all not gonna be fucking more when you get married. So
they're in the fiance stage. That's like near peak, you know.
That's when it's be like, I want you every day. I'm surprised you getting up out of bed type of shit. Now he looking at you like, damn, bitch, go to work.
Brett, give me the context of what you think and also what your friend who reads these smut novels thinks.
Okay, so I will say, like, I'm originally from the South, like, so I know a lot of, like, I'm from Alabama, so I know, like, a lot of people who get married to, like, the only person they've ever been with at a young age.
You know, high school sweetheart shit is real.
High school sweetheart, college sweetheart, you know, that's it. And I think, you know, that's not for me, but I understand that that's the way a lot of people's, just like their mind works, their brain works, and that makes them happy. And that's perfectly cool. But that being said, you know, I agree with what Raysean said. I don't know if you necessarily need to go sleep with other people, but it's definitely like sex is such a conversation that needs to be had between any partners that from like close to day one. You know, like it should be a very easy conversation. It doesn't have to be a tough one, but it's like the communication about your sex life with your partner is such an important thing, because if you're 26 years old, not married yet, and haven't slept together and like don't sleep together for months, what's it going to look like when you're 50? You know, because everybody needs sex. That's a fact. Or at least, you know, most people need sex. Like that's a fact in relationships, especially. And it's like, you know, if that's happening now, just a few years into the relationship, then how can you expect to spend the rest of your life with someone without talking about that?
I feel like I've never thought this once before, but I genuinely feel right now, in, you know, regards to this poster, this woman, I'm just so happy smut novels exist. Otherwise, you know, she wouldn't have had this newfound wannabe sexual awakening that's going to get her away from this dickhead boyfriend she was about to be stuck with the rest of her life.
Yeah. So I sent this to a friend of mine, And she literally sent like 2 sentences back. And I said, does this happen to you? Because she's with a boyfriend that she's been with for like 6 months now and they're happy and stuff. But she said sometimes, she thinks that the smut is ruining her life and that or her relationship and her sex. But she said basically all she said was if Rhys, RHYS, like the guy in the novel she reads, she said, if he was real, I would leave any man for him. So, that was all she really said.
But here's the thing, man. That character would have his pick of the litter, no? I mean, why blow up your own relationship about that? That's weird.
So she didn't give good advice, per se. But she
just found it relatable.
She found it relatable. Yeah. So I think it's an art form and it's a great thing, but maybe just talk about it and maybe have him read a couple of them.
Yeah, and remember it's fantasy. Not everything they doing in these books are probably even real. You probably can't even do half these positions that you think you like, I want to do this. And you're like, bitch, I need 3 dicks to do that. How am I gonna do that? Like,
dude, I was watching Normal People yesterday. The show Normal People. I don't know if y'all seen it. So sad, so good, so sad. But anyway, this couple, like, they are about to have sex for the first time, and they're like or she's a virgin, and like, because they're like, typical high school sex shows. That's like the craze now. And they like take their clothes off and they're standing up and they like kind of get close to each other. And I couldn't tell if they were just like using hands or what, but they both kind of at the same time were like, oh. And I was like, did they just put it in standing up, facing each other?
Jesus Christ.
I was so confused. I was like, that's the most unrealistic thing I've ever seen in my life. The show is fantastic. That scene in particular, I was like, maybe it's because I'm a very tall person, and so like I'll never
be able to do missionary stand up. Unless you get a 6'5" bitch.
Breck, how tall are you?
I'm 7 feet tall.
Oh,
that's
damn!
So fucking crazy.
So you gonna need like you need an 8 feet bitch.
I say 6'11" now to people because people always like freak out when I say 7 foot, but whatever. But, yeah,
that's what I would do as well.
If it's 6'11", I'm be like, you damn near 7 foot. You might as well just say you're 7.
Dude, when I was on dating apps, I changed it to 6'9" after a few months, and it helped a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so a lot of people like dating people like, and I guess that's 6'9".
There's a range of like hot is tall. There's a range.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So anyway, 7 foot is
before it becomes too much to handle.
Before you're a freak. Anyway, Kyle, smut.
I mean, I have one friend who loves her smut novels, and that's why I keep talking about like cowboy fucking werewolves or whatever, because that's the kind of smut novel she likes to read. And I think she's expressed similar things in the past. It's like, these things give me give me the excuse to like let my imagination go crazy about stuff that I'm never going to do with my husband. I'm like, that's kind of whatever. I mean, they've been together for a long ass time. So I don't know if it's exactly like this situation where like they're not even into their marriage yet. And they're already having, or she is already having these questions about things. I don't think my friend's questions are like legitimate about like breaking up with their boyfriend. I think it's just funny for her to talk about. Thankfully, I think it's hilarious. But for this girl, given that she's been with her high school sweetheart, she's 25, 26, hasn't been with anybody else, and she obviously has some kind of like sexual questions going on, I would probably call off your wedding and try to go date around and see if you can find somebody to fuck you better. Because if you can't even get to like the wedding day and you're already thinking about this stuff, I think this smut, while it may have corrupted many a mind over the past, I think maybe it perhaps saved you from having a dumbass life with this boring dick. You know what I'm saying?
It can enlighten as well as corrupt.
Oh, I think for this one, it is sexually enlightened her.
Yes.
Call up your wedding.
And also something else I think people need to do before they get into like relationships, y'all need to like talk about your kinks and stuff and make sure y'all kinks line up and shit, because that could be an interesting thing. She might be wanting to do some like butt play and he's like, play with the butt.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
if you start jumping into that stuff too soon though, you might just be like,
you got to work it into the conversation. But you know, once y'all playing around and being goofy, I feel like it's gonna come up. You know what I mean?
Playing around and being goofy.
That and like sex drive, is another thing that I feel like people
Oh,
don't
yeah.
talk about in relationships, but like those things have to be
Like, I need it
pretty
5
compatible,
minutes on the minute.
Yeah. I guess I just haven't been in a real substantive relationship for so long that I forget about all the fucking legwork that goes into it. Good for me. I think I figured it out, boys. I think I figured out how to be free. And it's
You
called
did
just
it.
record 7,000 podcasts a week for the rest of your life and give yourself the full sense of purpose. Anyway, let us know how you feel down in the comments below. Let us know, is this girl too smutty for her own good? Should she go off and get some gooder dick? And also like the video. We forgot that again. Shit. But it's okay, because we'll be back again tomorrow, and hopefully we won't forget to tell you to like the video early on, where we're going to be talking about an Am I the Asshole? And obviously it's about a gay kid. So that'll be fun. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Advice.
And don't be a butt cheek.
We picked the same note that time. That was sick as fuck. Did you hear our same note?
Blessings.